Welcome to the UCI versus Ball State semifinal, national championship semifinal game. This is Shane Donovan, joined here by Grant Walters, and we're here. Had a couple difficulties, but UCI is on the board. Score is now 2-2 here in the first set. Grant, we're gonna have a fun one today. What are the keys to the game that you're seeing so far?
Really looking forward to this one, Shane. For me personally, UCI really gonna have to keep that momentum up after that triumphant win against UCLA just last week on the road at Pauley Pavilion. Gonna need to see a lot from their pin hitters in this contest. Really put some nice pressure on the UCLA blocking unit in their last game. They're gonna need to keep it rolling if they're gonna get past a very ferocious Ball State Cardinal team.
For sure, we're just getting things still trying to figure out set up right here. But the score right now is 3-3. Ball State gets the ball. Number 21 for the Cardinals is now back there to serve, 3-3. The serve is across, handled by the libero, set up for the middle, and bang! The man Trevor Clark, the transfer from San Diego Mesa, bangs it down right the middle. Perfect two ball from the setter right there. Making the score 4-3 now. Andre Djokovic is now up for UCI. The serve into the net, serving error. Ball will go back to Ball State.
Nearly a beautiful jump serve from Ivanovic. Couldn't get it past the net there. First service error of the night for him.
Ball State with the serve, handled well by the libero. Sets the 5, cross court. With the set, pass back over. Miscommunication in the back court by number 1, Shane Atkin, and his teammate back there. Ball State with the ball and the point. Ball State back to serve once again. Score 5-4 here in set number 1. Serve as a jumper into the net. Score now 5-5 with number 12, Trevor Clark, the 6'10" junior, back to serve. He'll hit cross court, nice little floater. Sets it up for the 5. Handled well, UCI back across with the cross court. Smack from number 23, Andreas Brink, the freshman 6'6" man out of Denmark.
Andreas Brink with some great court vision on that cross court kill. Got past the libero in Victor Scherer for Ball State, unable to dig that one up.
And bang! Ball State responds right back.
Patrick Rogers on the kill. Went sky high and put it right down for Ball State. 6-6 early here.
Ball State man back there with the jumper. Handled well by the middle back, set up the 4, and bang! Number 23, Andreas Brink, yet again, smacks one down to make the score 6-7. Number 5, William Darcy, the oppo for the UCI Anteaters, back to serve with the jumper. Handled well by the libero. Set up the 5. Little high. Back to 23. UCI handling business here. Joust at the line as he's blocked yet again.
Keep going, back to Brink. Can't get it over that block. Formidable unit for Ball State. To really stifle the outside hitter on those past 3 hits. Great job by Ball State.
Darcy back to serve yet again. We'll see his signature jumper here. Nice little float, handled well, and a joust at the line by the setter. Set up to number 16. Off of the UCI hands, set up, and hit off again. The set, Oppo, bang, tool time. Number 16 for Ball State, Ryan Luis, the 6'9" man out of Arizona, is able to get a tool off of the UCI block. That'll bring back number 19, Braden Savinsky, 6'7" man. The Oppo and middle blocker. With the score now 7-8, Ball State trailing by 1 here early in this first set. The refs still getting in play here.
Clean up a bit of the mess on the Ball State side of the court.
Ball State with the jumper, off of the net, trickles back over. UCI able to stay alive. The set, the one. UCI diving and cannot get there. Number 9, Djokovic was trying to get there, could not get off of there to get the ball up off of the block and the tip.
Machado able to get that kill. The setter for Ball State has had 90 kills thus far this season.
Savinsky's serve is out of bounds. Point UCI, 8-9 now is the score. That's gonna send back number 23, Andreas Brink, who's had a lot of action thus far in this game, hitting that outside. He'll be back now to serve here. The nice little jump floater, handled well. Set, quick shoot. UCI keeps it alive. Brink sets up number 9. He's able to get a touch off of number 16 for Ball State. UCI gets the point, 8-10 now here.
Bogdanovic getting active early for the Anteaters. He's the team leader in kills. Seeing that on full display, that offensive prowess that he boasts.
Great play by Brink there just to recognize the tool as he comes back to serve with his nice little float there, handled well. Sets the 4 and bang! Sent straight down. That's gonna be number 20, Patrick Rogers, the 6'7" man, the senior leader. Back to serve now. Ball State. It's gonna be a nice little downward floater, handled well. Set up to the middle court, back row hit from the 5. Ball State handles it well. Brink will set up number 9 for UCI. Libero's able to get a touch, but not enough.
Bogdanovic again. A nice pin hit. Able to push that back on the Ball State defense. Bit of a reception error for the Ball State squad. Bogdanovic, got an answer for him yet.
Micah Goss back now for the Anteaters. Nice down ball right there. The ball sails over on the pass. It'll be UCI point. The setter tried to keep that ball alive. The ball was going over, and he touched a little bit of the net there, it looked like.
Machado heading into this contest, 986 assists on the season.
Goss back again. Perfect top spin. Sets the back row, tipped at the line, set up the bick. Handled well. Free ball over for UCI. UCI now controlling the court, sets the 4, and it is going to trickle over. Great play by Jakovic once again to simply tip that one over, hit that back corner where no Ball State player could reach it. Now the score, 13-9 as Ball State takes their first timeout.
And Bogdanovic seemingly single-handedly spearheading this run for the Anteaters, heading into the break up 13-9. UCI again really carrying that momentum from the UCLA 5-set victory last weekend. Bit of a controversial call at the end of that game. It's been the subject of it's been a subject talked about a lot in the volleyball world. See, the Bruins were up 14-12 in that contest. thought that they had won off a Cameron Thorne kill, but after further review, or after the ball went out of bounds, but after further review, said that Cameron Thorne ended up touching that ball, which made it go out of bounds and spoiled the Bruins season, which was seemingly their championship to take.
Yeah, definitely an interesting call there. Thorne swears he never touched it. We will never know, but we're right here, right now in the semifinal game with UCI and Ball State. Obviously, UCI advancing against UCLA, one of the top contenders, but UCI definitely making a statement of why they deserve to be here. Jakovic, the Newcomer of the Year award winner, has been making a statement here early, along with his counterpart, Andreas Brink, at that outside position, just really anchoring down this offensive unit so far, and a large part of why they're up 13-9 right here, as Micah Gross will still be at the line for UCI. Fun environment, Poly Pavilion, starting to fill out here pretty well.
A lot of Hawaii fans in the stands for the later game today.
They are. They're scouting their opponents for next Monday, possibly. As Gross will fire it over, set up well for the 4. Handled perfectly. Sets the 4 for UCI. Blocked at the line. Perfect pass. Blocked and out of bounds. It would be number 15, Cameron Costi, who got up there for UCI, but was tooled out of bounds. Ball State ball with Patrick Rogers now at the line for Ball State. 10-13 the score here in set 1. Rogers sends it over, handled well. Perfect pass, sets the 4. Blocked! Blocked by number 16 and number 21 for Ball State. Ryan Lewis and Will Patterson absolutely saying nuh-uh to Jakovic there at the line.
Outside hitter and opposite tandem at the net to stifle the Anteater offense. Great play from Ball State.
Sends the ball over, perfect set to the 4. Gets a block up, fakes the pass. Playing a little tool time here. Free ball over from UCI, handled well. And this sets the 1. UCI handles that well, sets the 4 yet again. Tip. Ball State handles it. Sets the big. Handled well. Back right at UCI. UCI gets it up again. Right back to the outside. And it is touched. Tool time for UCI. The man, the myth, the legend, the Newcomer of the Year award, Andrej Jakovic handles that one yet again. UCI just going back to the man time and time again.
William Darcy, really the backbone of that play. 2 straight digs off attacks from Ball State to keep them alive in that volley.
Costi sent it over, and Ball State sends it right back. Perfect hit there by Ball State. Score now 12-14 here.
Ball State inching back in this game, went into the timeout down 4. Now we're just down 2 in the first set, trailing UCI 14-12 with Patrick Rogers back to the line.
Handled well, sets the 4, tooled off of the Ball State Cardinals. William Darcy, the oppo, hitting a 4 though. Makes a great play there, perfect set to the outside. Hits him in the head. Able to get that ball as now UCI back to the line. Sends a nice little floater over, but it is going straight to the net. Score now 13-15 here in set 1.
Jokanovic does lead the team in service errors for UCI. Important to note, just didn't get enough under that serve.
Lewis back to serve here, handled well. Perfect pass to the setter, who sets the bit. What a play by the libero to get that one up. And it is roofed! Tandem by Trevor Clark and Andrews Brink saying nuh-uh and sending that one straight down. Now Clark will head back to the line now. Quick transition here, sets the floater cross court, set, perfect, out. Number 19 for Ball State. Tried to get that one.
Semifinals, unable to get that to go down the hatch.
UCI back again, sets the floater over, sets the 5, and blocked! Blocked! Number 7, Micah Gross, says, nuh-uh, go back. Now as UCI pulls away and forces Ball State to call yet another timeout. Score 18-13 here in the first set.
Blocks really was performing well that last frame for the Anteaters, who now have 2 on the day thus far. The most recent one. UCI again up 18-13, starting to pull away this first set. And oftentimes it's really important to set the tone for a set of any match in volleyball. UCI doing just that against Ball State. UCI actually had to play 2 games before this to even clinch a spot in the semifinal, earned a 5-set victory against Penn State, and then subsequently had a 5-set contest against UCLA. So it's a lot of wear and tear on this team, but that is not deterring them here at Poly Pavilion. They've just continued to perform well. And credit to Andres Joganovic, hitting at just a 200 hitting clip, but nevertheless has a team leading 4 kills on 10 attack attempts. Really getting up there and putting a lot of pressure on this Ball State defense. Look to see him get even more active as this first set drags on.
Now Trevor Clark, the outside hitter, and Oppo back to serve. Up 18-13 here in set number 1. UCI looking to take care of business and head off to the championship this Monday. That's also going to be here. Clark sends a floater over, handled well, sets the 4, and UCI questioning the call there, but the point will go to Ball State. It'll send back number 3, Will Basillo. Basillo with the jumper, handled well. Perfect set to the 2, handled well by the libero, sets the 4, tipped at the line, goes back up. Set as center out of position. Denied by Ball State. Back, denied again. Denied, oh! UCI sets the outside 3 straight times. Ball State says no the first 2 and gets stuffed on the 3rd. Point UCI. Score 19-14, which will send back number 5, Darcy, the 6'10" senior out of Australia. Darcy with the jumper into the net. Get a service error right there for UCI. Score now 15-19. It'll send back Savinsky. And we're going to have a sub right here, actually. Going to send in number 1 to go in and serve. That's going to be Tyler Wint. Tyler Wint. Nice jumper and dump. A dump by number 15. Cameron Cossey, the setter, makes the executive decision to take that one himself and dumps that one straight over the net.
Cameron Cossey with the deception. Ball State isn't ready for the attack. Gets a kill.
Brink now back at the line. 15-20 the score. Sends a nice little floater cross court. Set up well, handled, and sets the bick. And it is a downward spiral.
Will Basilio on the kill. This goes right down the middle of the UCI defense and puts it down for the kill.
Ball State now back at the line. Jumper right here will go out of bounds. UCI point. Score now 16-21 in set number 1. Man, oh man, are these fast-paced. Volleyball does not wait around for anybody. As now it'll send back number 7, Micah Goss, back to the line. Goss, the redshirt freshman from Hayward, California. Jumper into the net. Point, Ball State, 17-21, now the score.
UCI's 4th service error already. Gonna need to clean it up from beyond the service line. They're gonna continue to pressure this Ball State team that can really come back at any moment.
Patrick Rogers will send one over, handled well, sets the 2. Libero hands it well. It's gonna be a joust at the line. Ball State sends one straight into a block. Cameron Costi says, nuh-uh, and roof. UCI gets the point, 17-22 here. As now, Costi will go back to the line to try and close this first set out for UCI.
Costi already getting active on the defensive end. First block of the night, but he also already has 3 digs to go along with it.
Costi with a great serve, but it's handled straight back over to UCI, and they will get the point. It was tight, but Trevor Clark sends one cross court. Looked like it might have gone out of bounds, but barely lands in. UCI point, 23-17 now.
Trevor Clark got way up there and just simply powered that home for UCI.
Costi sends one over, and number 21 for Ball State, Will Patterson, able to send that one off of the block. And now Ball State back at the line. Be number 15 for them.
Marty Canavan seen some action.
Ooh, sends out one. A nice little floater straight out of the back. Great eye by Shane Aiken to not touch that one, forcing game point here early in this contest. 24-18 the score.
Jokanovic will look to seal it from the line.
And he sends it straight into the net. Ball State stays alive, 19-24 here, which will send back number 16, Ryan Lewis, for Ball State.
Surprise Arizona local stepping beyond the service line.
Sends that one over, handled well, sets the 4, handled again, sets the 4 for Ball State, blocked, and UCI gets the point and seals set number 1. Number 12, Trevor Clark, sends Ball State packing. Final score, set number 1, 25-19. Grant, tell me what you saw out of that first set.
UCI's defense has just simply stifled this Ball State offense, holding them to 114 hitting percentage. They've also accrued 5 blocks so far. Trevor Clark has really been spearheading the defensive effort for the Anteaters with 4 total blocks already. Look for UCI to keep that defensive pressure up. They've simply had their way on the Ball State pin hitters. If they're gonna play that type of defense, then this game could be over in 3.
It very well could be. UCI really playing some great defense out there. Ball State staying scrappy, but it wasn't enough in set number 1, with the final score being 25-19. And now UCI will look to continue the success into set number 2. The teams, as they always do, switching sides right now, getting a little quick warm-up in between. But what do you think's going on in the coaching huddle for both of these respective teams right now?
For UCI, just coaches saying keep the pressure up, keep this energy that they've had heading into this contest, because that's really what's been the difference. Is UCI has played a lot more free and with a lot more juice than Ball State. We've seen players celebrating after almost every point on UCI, uplifting each other. Ball State has looked a lot more timid out on the court. And in Ball State's huddle, just have to keep on attacking, putting pressure on the UCI block. Have to break it somehow. The only way that you're going to do that is by going back to what has worked so well with that Ball State offense throughout this season. But Ball State has simply been punched in the face in this first set. Getting that mojo back is going to be hard against a red-hot UCI team, but they need to rediscover that if they're going to have a fighting chance against the Anteaters.
100% agree. The nice thing about volleyball is that it is a clean slate between sets. What happened in set number 1 is not going to affect what happens in set number 2. That's exactly what these coaches are telling them. That's the special thing about volleyball. And man, this has been fun, you know. We had a little bit of technical difficulties trying to get up here for this first game, but we will be continuing the rest of today with Hawaii and Long Beach up next at 6:30, so make sure to stick around for that as well.
And Hawaii and Long Beach State, that is going to be quite the treat. Those teams have really battled in 2026. Two of the best teams in the Big West. Last game went to 5. It'll likely be a tightly contested affair when it starts at 6:30 at Pauley Pavilion. Now UCI looking to carry what they've accomplished so far against Ball State. Get a quick victory to go into the championship game with some rest too. This 5-set affairs can really put some wear and tear on teams, especially with both the physical and emotional stress that coincides those 5th set frames.
Both teams now back out on the court, ready for set number 2 of this semifinal matchup. Both teams fighting to stay alive here and to stay here in Southern California to fight for the national championship this Monday. And now Patrick Rogers will be back on the line for Ball State. Jumper handled well by UCI, set by the libero to the 5 and sends one over. Number 16 for Ball State, Ryan Lewis, handles the overpass and sends it straight back down.
Shane Atkin with a sloppy set to give Ball State a chance to get the kill and the first point of the set along with it.
Ball State sends a hard jumper over, set well, tip over. Libero gets in there, helps out, sends it across the court, staying alive. UCI with the ball, sets the 5, blocked. Set her out yet again, and blocked! Trevor Clark with yet another block. The transfer from a community college, San Diego Mesa, handles that one and sends him back down.
Clark standing at 6'10", taller players on the Anteater roster.
Ball State handles the serve, gets tooled off of the ball. Miscommunication there as Cameron Costi, the setter, forgot to call off Clark, and they run into each other at the line. Scary moment right there. Both players extremely trying to stay alive there, but 2-1 here now. Ball State sends it over, handled well. Costi will set the 4, and it will be a net violation by Ball State. Score now 2-2. UCI gets the ball back as Jokovic will be back at the line with the serve. Jumper here, sends it over, handled well. Ball State sets the 2, blocked by Clark. Libero keeps it alive, back set across, free ball. Costi running this offense, and Clark sends it down! Trevor Clark with yet another big play.
4th kill of the afternoon. And a 750 clip thus far. making his presence known on the offensive and defensive end. Clark has been this team's MVP, clear cut so far.
UCI back again with the serve. Hard jumper, handled well by the libero. Set up perfectly, the Bick, and down goes that ball. UCI unable to handle it.
Patrick Rogers on the kill. Rutherford High School alum, hails from Rutherford, New Jersey, slams that home.
Ball State now here with the ball, 3-3. Ball sneaks over the net. Costi with the set. Outside, and the ball is out. Number 23, Andreas Brink, unable to keep that one in. Trying to hit that one line, hit a little too far left. Ball goes out of bounds. 4-3 now, Ball State up by 1. The serve, handled well. Costi with the set, outside of Brink, and he will trickle that one to the middle back court. 4-4 now, UCI ties it up here in the second set. And now Clark will head back to the line. Like I said, Clark, the transfer out of San Diego Mesa, actually played with a couple of my buddies, my old high school teammates. Clark will send that one across. And Ball State able to keep alive. Costi directing traffic, gets blocked. He set up Andreas Brink, but Ball State said no. Sends that one out. And Ball State picks up the point here, which will now send number 3 to the line for Ball State.
Will Basilio yet again the line.
Handled well, set outside. Brink again pulls that one a little bit too hard. Out of bounds. Ball State up 6-4.
And Brink had that very hot early start to this contest, rattling off 2 straight kills in the opening frame. But since then, he hasn't found consistency. Just 4 kills off 14 attacks.
As Basilio will send that one straight into the net. Score now 6-5. UCI gets the ball back. It'll send back Will Darcy for UCI. Trying to spark a little magic here. Sends the floater over. Handled well. Tight set and dump. A slam dunk by number 9, Lucas Machado for Ball State. Little bit of an overpass there, but handled well by Machado to send that one straight back down and make the score 7-5. Ball State back of the line. Jumper handled well by the libero. Sets up and tool time. Oh, tool time, correct. That's going to be number 23, Andreas Brock, yet again. Hitting on the outside. Just a perfect set by Cameron Costi to make the score 7-6 now. UCI with the ball. Sends a nice little floater over, handled well. Sets the 4, and bang! Straight down. Number 20, Patrick Rogers. Shane Aiken could not pick that one up, fell right at his feet. No block to contest. Ball State gets the point, 8-6 now here. Sends this one cross court. Set up on the outside, the 4, and sends that one right over the block. That's going to be number 9, Andrej Djokovic. He's a big beach volleyball fan and leads the team in kills this season. Gets another one right there.
Shoganovic had the bump to initiate the set. Set goes right back to him. He powers it down to get the point for the Anteaters.
Gross will send this one over, handled well. Sets the 5, tip, and unable to keep it up. Ball State picks up the point, 9-7. Man, oh man, is it hard to call volleyball? It is such a fast-paced game. So much going on. We're trying to give you guys all we can here as Ball State's back at the line. Score 9-7.
Ball's hopping around like a hacky sack on the court.
It really is. Sends that one. Hard jumper. Sets the 4 to the pin. And it is blocked. Ball State. A trio of athletes getting up there, but Will Patterson leading the charge. sends UCI packing. 10-7 now here as UCI calls their first timeout of the set.
Trio of Ball State blockers there to stymie the Anteaters' attack. You can hear the Ball State fans near the left side of the stands cheering for their squad. They've gotten out hot in this second frame. Much needed response from Ball State. Took Pepperdine to 5 sets in their first match of the NCAA tournament. Walked away with a win against the Wave. They've really been defined this season by how they've responded to adversity. It's been no different in today's contest at Poly Pavilion.
Ball State really taking control of this second set, fighting back. Up 10-7 right now. We've been seeing them winning at the line, getting those blocks up, really just being that scrappy team that they've always been known for. And if you're UCI, you're making the big plays, but you have to eliminate the mistakes. Not getting a block up on a couple of these ones, allowing Ball State to get a free hit in there, sending one straight to the middle of the court. As we are now coming back here, Ball State with the ball. It'll be number 5, Adir Ben Shalouche. What a name. He'll be back at the line. Excuse me. Actually, they switched it up on us. It's actually going to be Patrick Rogers back at the line. I think he was just playing with the ball back there. But up 10-7 now. Set number 2 coming out of the timeout. The jumper sent to the back right corner. Perfect pass. Sets the 2. And Clark is able to get that one to go down. Trevor Clark doing it all out of Lake Elsinore.
5th kill ties a team high tonight. 5 Anteaters share the title kill leader.
Gossi sends that one over, sets the bick, and it will be a tool off of UCI. Ball State picks up the point. It'll be Patrick Rogers picking up that one and bring up Will Patterson at the line. Patterson looking to extend the lead here, 11-8. Ball State sends the floater over. A little bit of a missed pass there, will set the 4 and straight into the net goes William Darcy. A little bit of an errant pass there to start off by Jokanovic. And nothing after that went right for UCI. Scored now 12-8, Ball State.
Sloppy play for the Anteaters has defined this set. Had those 2 early points lost due to sloppy instances.
Well, he just made up for it there. William Darcy is able to send that one straight back down. UCI picks up the point, 12-9 now, as Jokanovic will head back to the line for UCI.
They just went right back to Darcy, showing confidence in the Australian to send it home.
That one will hit the actual center board for here in Poly Pavilion, and Clark will send that one straight out of bounds. Ball State able to stay alive on that one. Sending back number 16, Ryan Lewis, the sophomore out of Arizona. Back of the line for Ball State, score now 13-9.
Clark with yet another block, but just had too much on it, and it sends it right past the service line for the Ball State point. Really cleaned things up in this second set compared to the first. Seemingly a bit sluggish coming out in the first frame, but have refined their offense especially, as their hitting percentages jumped to 213. They're hitting just 114 in the first set.
Ball State sent this one over, handled well. Perfect set to Clark, who sends it right back down. UCI gets the ball back, and Ball State responds. Number 19, Braden Savitsky is able to send that one straight down, 14-9 now. Ball State up.
And that's Savitsky's first start since April 5th.
UCI with a great play. Darcy able to hit one off of the player's head and straight out of bounds. Gets the tool there, now sending Clark back to the line. Score 14-10 now. Trevor Clark looking to bring UCI back. Here he'll do his signature little floater cross court, handled well, sets the 2. Picked up by UCI, sets the 5. Blocked, sends up, stay alive. Ball State sends another one over. Setter out, is able to keep it alive, but into the net goes UCI. Ball State with the point. Costi tried to keep that one alive, had to take the first touch there, and UCI out of system. Messes up there. That's what Ball State is trying to do. Get UCI out of system and allow them to be able to control this court, force free balls, force tough hits, as we'll see a challenge here by UCI to see if Ball State was touching that one there.
You see Irvine's head coach not afraid to challenge. Saw a ton of challenges in that game against UCLA. First challenge of the day thus far for the Anteaters, but he's going to want to take a second look. Could be a crucial point as Ball State starting to pull away in the second set.
The call is reversed. UCI will pick up the point here, sending Clark back to the line. Score 14-11 now. UCI fighting back, only down by 3 in this second set, as they're taking another look at it right here. Honestly, have no idea what they were looking at. I did not see what was going on there, but UCI picks up the point. Clark with his signature floater cross court and sends one a little bit out of bounds. Great eye by the libero to be able to pick that one up. That'll be Victor Schur for Ball State. Great eye. And now Ball State back to the line. Score 15-11. We have a jumper here. Handled well. Sets the 5. And straight down goes William Darcy, the 6'10" Australian man from Brisbane. Sends that one cross court. Yeah, fun fact, I'm actually going to Brisbane in a couple weeks, so I got to ask this guy all the spots, but he's now back at the line. William Darcy sends a nice little floater over. Handled perfectly, and a dump again by the setter. That'll be Lucas Machado. Great play. Ball looked like it was going to be going over yet again, but Machado handing that one straight over to UCI and straight down. Ball State now up 16-12.
And Machado really showcasing his multifaceted approach, not just a center who can pass, also excellent when it comes to killing too.
Ball State stays alive here with a ball that goes cross court, barely lands inside the 10-footer. That'll keep them alive now. Bray, Savinsky back for Ball State. We have a jumper. Handled well, sets the 4. Handled again by Ball State. He'll set the back row, and it'll go flying out. No touch there. Point UCI. Score now 17-13. UCI fighting back here as number 23, Andreas Brink, will take the ball. Looking to spark a little bit of a comeback here. It's the race to 20, as they say. Brink sends the floater. Perfectly picked up and sets that one over. UCI with the free ball sets back over. Back in system, and bang, blocked by UCI. Tipped over, kept alive by UCI on the pancake block. Sends it right back over. Ball State keeps it up, is able to get a controversial kill right there by number 20, Patrick Rogers, who seemed to hold on to that ball a little bit too long, sent a little bit of a set kill over there, but it'll go in Ball State's favor now, 18-13. Send back Ball State with the line. It'll be a jumper here Sends that one out of bounds. UCI picks up the point, 18-14.
Chado unable to keep this service with Ball State. Drifted a bit outside that right part of the court, lands out of bounds. UCI now trailing by 4, 18-14, Ball State.
Goss sends it over, handled well, out of system though. They'll set the outside, the oppo, and then it goes straight down. That'll be number 9, Djukanovic, saying no to Ball State. Picking up the point, 15-18. You know, Micah Goss and UCI went on a run when he was serving last set, looking to continue that success into this next serve. As we'll check the court really quick. Something seemed to have fallen onto the court. Score now 18-15.
Neither team has picked up a service ace in this contest thus far. Excellent reception skills for both squads.
As Goss will send that one straight out of the back. Score now 19-15. Ball State picks up the point yet again. Sending back Patrick Rogers to try and close this one out for Ball State. Here comes the jumper. A hard jumper corralled in. Set and a miss. That'll be Cameron Costi with a rare miss there. He tried to get the set, couldn't get his hands perfectly set up, and that ball just squirts right through. Taking a look at a replay, just never really got a handle on it. Rogers will head back to the line. Score now 20-15. Ball State.
Don't exactly know what happened on the previous play.
As Clark will send it straight down. Clark picks up another kill. This connection between Costi and Clark really doing numbers for UCI, trying to fight back into this one. Up 20-16, and now Costi will head back to the line to try and redeem himself from that errant play just 2 plays ago.
UCI really needs a service run to stay in this set, still trailing by just 4. Some momentum using it.
Ball State able to handle it well, but sails it straight out. 20-17 to score. UCI inching back here. You gotta wonder, when is Ball State going to take that timeout?
Can't let things get too out of control. Ball State has really dictated the pace of this entire set.
Costi with the serve, handled well, sets the big. Denied by Clark, but it'll go out of bounds. Ball State gets stuffed at the net, but Clark sends that one out of bounds, sadly, for UCI. Score now 21-17.
Ball State again has really challenged this UCI block in this set. That has been the big difference, just haven't been able to convert on the block.
Ball State with the floater, but UCI able to set the 5, and number 9, Djukanovic, will pick up that one as he'll head right back to the line. Score now 21-18. Down by 3 here in set 2. UCI took the first set, trying to take this one as well with the jumper. Perfect pass to the setter. Sets the 5. A little bit high. Costi handles that one. Clark able to use his left hand and tip that one over. Costi sent that one a little bit too high into the left for Clark, but Clark able to reach out his left hand and slam that one down. Score now 21-19.
Clark making the most of the errant pass. Gets the point for UCI, within 2 points of tying this second set.
Djukanovic able to send that one over, and Ball State will send that one right back, picking up the point, 22-19. And now it looks like we'll have number 16, Ryan Lewis, back to try and close this one out, up by 3. Only need 3. Lewis sends that one across, handled well, sets Clark, and Clark yet again sends it down. The big man back there, Lewis, who just served, unable to get that pass up. UCI picks up the point now, down by 2, 22-20.
Lewis looked lost on the reception.
Clark with the floater. Set up back row, and Clark right back at him, but unable to handle the pass, as now Clark will head out. Machado with a great set there. And now Machado. And Ball State looking to close this one out, now up 23-20. The pass. The set. The kill! That'll be number 7, Micah Goss, sending that one straight down. UCI now down by 2. Ball State only needs 2. And looks like we'll get a sub right here. A substitution. Number 5 will head out, William Darcy, and now Andon Kurakahu will come in.
18 service aces on it this season for Kuryaku.
He'll send that one over to the court. Sets the 4, able to keep that one up. Sets the 4, and out of bounds.
Call a touch.
Oh, but they're calling a touch. Brink laying on the ground, pleading for the touch, and he got it now, only down by 1, 23-22. Ball State wondering what kind of a call that was, but Andon will head back to the line, now only down by 1 here in set number 2.
And Kiriako really able to spur that offensive play.
The 4 is set, and number 20, Patrick Rogers, sends it straight down. 24-22. Ball State up now, only needing 1 game point. That'll send back number 1, Tyler Wint. Tyler Wint, he's a freshman out of Lake Howell High School, looking to close this one out right here. Ball State with the serve, great serve, but handled well. Sets the middle, and Goss keeps UCI alive. 24-23, sending Brink back to the line, and we'll get a substitution here as Victor Scher will enter back into the game. But Brink back at the line for UCI, down by 1, needs to have it here to stay alive here in set 2. Set 1, trying to fight back in set 2. Brink sends it across, handled well, sets the 2, kept alive, but it is not enough. Some miscommunication by Darcy, and UCI will give Ball State gate number 2. Final score of set 2, 25-23.
Ball State faltered a bit in the second frame, got up by 5 points earlier in the stanza, but UC Irvine fought back, just wasn't able to complete the set comeback. Ball State able to hang on, gets the job done in a crucial second set that knots the game score at 1 apiece. Ball State really performing better on the attacking side of things, posting a .242 hitting percentage heading into the 3rd stanza, able to regain some of that attacking composure. And despite what UCI was able to achieve defensively in the first set, Ball State did not shy down, and they challenged the Anteaters directly. Cardinals head into the crucial 3rd stanza with some momentum after the 2-point second set victory. But Shane, what are some of your keys moving forward for both of these teams after what you've seen in the first 2 sets?
Yeah, Ball State's really trying to just get UCI out of system. Really trying to force Costi to take that first ball, because once Costi's out, UCI seems to get a little bit questionable on the ball placement. Costi's the main man right now for UCI, and if you can get him rattled, you can get this entire team rattled. Trevor Clark needs to be shut down in order for Ball State to be able to stay in this one. Maybe not shut down, but at least controlled. And on the other side, if you're Ball State, you want to continue to keep this pressure on UCI. Now tied 1-1 here, splitting the sets. What a fun matchup it's been thus far. Poly Pavilion really starting to fill out now to host here in sunny Southern California on a beautiful 80-degree weather day here in Los Angeles.
See a blend or a canvas of colors here at Poly Pavilion. Red for the Cardinals, green for the Rainbow Warriors, yellow and blue for the Anteaters, and of course yellow and black for the defending champions, Long Beach State. Like you said, Shane, it's really starting to fill out. A lot of these fans just want to see some good volleyball on display with these 4 elite teams making up the Final Four in the NCAA tournament. And many people actually had the host UCLA penciled into the Final Four, but it goes to show, need to get the job done in the regional tournament. Can't get too complacent despite your seeding. And again, a lot of people did expect UCLA to be playing in this match against Ball State, but UC Irvine with an absolute shocker last weekend in front of the Bruin faithful. Anteaters really filled out the stands too that day. They are well represented at Poly Pavilion yet again. So we now officially head into the third stanza. Micah Goss stepping behind the service line to initiate things.
Goss looking to keep things going here for UCI, trying to bounce back off of that second set loss. But fresh start here now, 0-0. Goss back at the line. Will Ball State be able to keep UCI out of system? That is the question. Goss with the jumper, handled well. Sets the 5. Perfect pass. We'll send that one back over to the back row 5. Helped out by the libero. Ball State trying to keep it alive. Blocked at the line by UCI. Setter keeps it alive. Right back to the 5, and Goss diving for it. Able to keep it up. It sends it over to Ball State, who sets the 4. Goss again in the face, but keeps it alive. UCI diving for it was Andreas Brink into the sideline, but it goes around the antenna. Just a gritty first play by both teams there. But the point will go to Ball State. Now sending back Ball State to the line.
Great volley from both teams, keeping that ball alive. But Ball State ends up with the point.
And Ball State sends it right back over on the service error. UCI picking up the point.
Knotted at 1 now, early in the third set.
Costi with the serve, handled well. Sets it back 5, and is able to tip that one over. What a set there by Machado, able to pick that one up. And Ball State able to tip it over. UCI unable to get it. 2-1 now the score.
Will Patterson will step beyond the service line. Loveland, Ohio local.
UCI with the ball, set it across. Machado with the set, but denied by Clark. Trevor Clark gets up and sends that one back down. Roof, he said. But it's going to go out of bounds. Did not see that out of bounds. That is on me. Ball State with the ball, 3-1.
Trevor Clark, after having those 5 early blocks, didn't pick up 1 in the second stanza.
Well, Clark makes it up right there. That one does land in bounds. UCI picking up the point now. 3-2 here, which will send back Djukanovic to the line.
Clark really needs to ensure that those blocks aren't tracking upward and going out of bounds. He needs to put them down on the Ball State side of the court.
Oh, great hit by Ball State. Shane unable to keep that one up. Ball State will get the point, 4-2. That'll send back number 16, Ryan Lewis for Ball State. Up by 2 here early in the third. Sends that one cross court, but it'll trickle out of bounds. Great eye by UCI to not touch that one. 4-3 now, which will send back Clark, bringing up his signature cross court floater.
And Lewis with the service error has the second most on the team at 74 service blunders in 2026.
Clark sends that one straight into the net. Ball State picks up the point, 5-3 now. And now Basilio will head back to the line for Ball State. 5-3 the score here in the third set. The jumper handled well. Perfect pass to the middle of the court. Sets the 4. Ball State stays alive. Sets the back row 5. Denied at the line. Sets the back 4. And UCI sends it right back over and right back into the line. Machado trying to send that one straight back over. Got a little bit too greedy off of the block, but unable to do so. UCI picks up the point, 5-4. UCI just barely trying to straight back into this one here. 5-4, sending number 5, William Darcy, back to the line. The man out of Brisbane.
Would have been a wise move for Machado. Actually set that up, but rushed the attack attempt and goes right into the net.
UCI stays alive here. Sets the 2. Goss unable to get that one up. And Ball State will pick up the point. Now 6-4 here.
Daniel Gunther, the first action for him in today's contest. 6'7" middle blocker from Munich, Germany.
Daniel Gunther sends this one across, handled well. Sets the 5, back row, and bang! Darcy sends it down. Picking up the point, 5-6 now, down by 1.
Darcy finding his groove at the pin. It's right past back end of the Ball State defense.
Brink sends it over, and now Ball State sends this one straight out. Score 7-5 now. UCI questioning the call here, asking for a challenge on this one. Can they get another successful challenge in is the question, and he will challenge it. UCI going for yet another challenge. All of the players on the court fighting for that one, saying, Coach, please just trust us on this one.
Now, trust in his players is fundamental to the relationship between any coach and their athletes. David Niffen really established that bond with his team, isn't afraid to challenge if his players think it is warranted, and has really benefited UCI in their previous matches. Niffen had multiple challenges against UCLA in the regional round. We've seen one successful challenge from the Anteaters already, but that one is going to be upheld. Unsuccessful challenge by Niffen and UCI. Luck doesn't go their way on it. Ball State up 7-5. Come into this third set, really riding the momentum they accumulated in the second.
Ball State back to the line. Jumper here handled well. UCI sends this one back to the 4. Ball State gets a touch, but not enough diving effort, unable to do so. Score now 7-6. UCI picks at the point, and Goss will send back to the line for UCI. Goss had that run in that first set, tried to keep them alive in the second, unable to do so, and now he'll be fighting back here in the third.
Still no service aces for either team. really locked down the reception units.
Goss with the jumper, straight into the net. 8-6 now the score. His little pre-clap ritual with the crowd, unable to help him there. And that'll bring up number 20, Patrick Rogers for Ball State to try and extend this lead here, 8-6. Rogers sends a hard jumper over, handled well by the libero, sets the 2 to Clark, and it'll go out of bounds. He gets the tool, Clark with another kill.
Clark leading the offensive and defensive charge at the net for UCI. Notches his 10th kill of the afternoon. The hit.
Costi will send that one straight into the net. Score now 9-7 here. Will Patterson for Ball State will look to extend the lead. He's got the floater, handled well by the libero. Costi sets the 5 on the pin, and Ball State unable to get it back up. A diving effort by Will Basillo, but unable to grab that one. UCI now down by 1, score 8-9.
Basilio, a Ballinfad, Ontario local. He's part of the 2025 U21 Men's Canadian National Team.
A hard serve, but handled well by Ball State and sends one back across. And Shane Aitken unable to pick up that ball. Ryan Lewis with the kill. Ball State now up by 2, 10-8. Ball State looking to extend their lead. Sends the jumper over, handled well by the libero. Sets the 5, the pin, and Ball State's able to get it up out of system. Sets the back row 5. UCI able to get it up, sends it trickling back over. Handled well, sets the 4. Blocked by UCI. Ball State staying alive. Sets the back row 5, kept up by UCI. Sets the 4, kept alive by Ball State. Sends right back over. UCI with a chance to make a big play here, and Clark with the tool! Trevor Clark, the man out of Lake Elsinore, the transfer, the nation's leader in hitting percentage at one point. Now he's second. Slams that one down, and now he'll go back to the line for his signature floater. Sends this one cross court. Ball State handles it well. Sets the 4. Tipped at the net. Set well to the 5. And denied by Ball State. Ball State, number 10, Daniel Gunther, gets up for the block.
It's a trio of blockers solidifying the pin. Goes right past a diving anteater on the way down. Gunther, really been a welcome addition to that middle blocking room. Freshman year out of Germany. Didn't see much action earlier in the season, but Ball State has really relied on him more as they've untapped his potential in the middle blocking unit. It's really been a spark plug for this Ball State defense. It's the Anteaters who have hitting efficiently .351 so far today.
Basillo back at the line. Nice little floater jumper there, handled well. The libero set the 5, and what a play by Darcy. Can we give a little bit of credit, though, to that back set by Shane Aitken? Able to get that perfect back set to the 5. Giving UCI the point now, only down by 1, 11-10 here in the third set. UCI sends it over. The set to the 5, and down! But UCI able to pick that one up because that hit the antenna on the way down. So William Darcy will continue to serve here. Score 11-11 now. Here comes the jump floater. Picked up by the libero. Perfect set to the 2, and it'll go barely over Shane Aitken's head, who was diving for it but does not touch it. UCI picks up the point, now has the lead. It's their first lead of the set. 11-12 now, UCI.
UCI flipping the script. Ball State got out to that early lead, but UCI has clawed back and taken the lead.
And Darcy will send that one straight out of the back now, score 12-12. Darcy apologizing to his teammates, and sometimes that's all you can do in those situations.
Say my bad and move on.
Exactly. Ball State here with the ball, sends it over. A dump by Cameron Costi. What a play, heads up play. Pass was going over. Costi is able to get up and send that one back down. Give a little bit of help on the way. Now Andreas Brink back at the line for UCI, up by 1, 12-13 to score here in the third set. Brock sends it over. Ball State will send it out, but ball lands in.
Patrick Rogers, yet another kill. 13th on the evening for a game high. Really found his groove at the pin for the Cardinals.
Machado now back at the line. Will send this one a hard jumper. Handled well by UCI. Sets the 4 and gets a touch. Number 9, Djokanovic is able to get a touch on that nice kill right there. Feed the man, they say. Feed him. And now Goss will be back at the line for UCI, up by 1, 13-14. Both teams exchanging points here in the middle of this third set. Goss gets his traditional clap in, gets his nice jumper, handled well by Ball State. Will set the 5, blocked at the line. UCI right back at him, and this one goes out of bounds. Patrick Rogers got denied the first time, was able to get up, but sends the second one out, and Ball State will call a timeout. 15-13 now the score here for UCI in set number 3.
And Patrick Rogers, he has really been active on the attacking end. 28 total attacks, which is good for 13 kills thus far. He's really had to compensate for Ryan Louis, the opposite for Ball State's inconsistencies on the opposite pin. Louis has only 5 kills and is boasting a .048 hitting clip. So Rogers really had to carry the offensive load for the Cardinals. It's starting to have an impact. He's getting up there almost every single set piece. And he's been able to have some production, but that one just went out of bounds. Unable to tee up the ball as he was rising and spike it home. That has really driven UCI's comeback. They've had a much more multifaceted attack in this contest. Patrick Rogers really owned the unifaceted offensive option thus far. Meanwhile, UCI has 3 players with 8 or more kills. Trevor Clark leading the way with 11. And the team is also boasting a much more efficient 375 hitting clip compared to Ball State's 213 clip. Efficiency is the name of the game in volleyball, and the Anteaters have outpaced the Cardinals in that category so far.
UCI with the ball here. Goss back at the line, up by 2, 15-13 here in set number 3. Goss with a nice serve over, handled well though. The sets the 5, UCI picks it up, sets the 4, blocked at the line. Diving effort by Ball State to keep this one alive here. Sends it straight back over, and UCI sends it down. Ball State sends it right back at them. UCI staying alive, sets the 4, handled well, setter out. They'll look to tip this one over to stay alive. Ball State sends it over to UCI, who sets the 4, down, picked up by the libero. Great pickup, a back set, sets the 5 and denied down, but out of bounds. Number 9, Andrej Jakovic gets the block, but it goes out of bounds. What a play, though, by Victor Schur, the libero, to keep Ball State in that one right there. 14-15 now the score. UCI up by 1. Ball State back at the line. Here comes the jumper. Sends a hard jumper over. Picked up well by UCI. Sets the 2, and bang goes Clark. Trevor Clark the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who's been running this UCI offense all game. Picks up another kill right there, making the score 16-14.
Runs through Clark, as you said, Shane. Just absolutely no answer for the middle blocker today.
UCI sends it over. Ball State sets the 5. Picked up well by UCI. Will set the 4. And bang! Jokanovic gets his redemption right there, getting this kill. No block, no contestation. And now the score is 17-14 as we'll get a sub right here.
Jokanovic showing that fire that he has after he notched the kill, flexes on his teammates. He knows he's that guy, and he's putting on a show for the Anteaters today.
Costi at the line. Great serve, sending Libero straight back. Forces Ball State to send a free ball, handled well by the Libero. Picks up the 2, and it gets denied. What a play by number 21, Will Patterson, to deny Clark. That's exactly what you need to do. Clark in disbelief of what just happened. And now Patterson will head back to the line after that incredible block to try and fight back into this one. Down by 2 here, 15-17 to score in set number 3. Each team has won 1 set up to this point here in this semifinal matchup, trying to make it to Monday.
Looked as if that one was going to be a freebie for UCI. Had plenty of time to set up the attack, set it up, and Clark had a good angle on it, but credit to the middle of that Ball State defense is simply able to deny Clark on the attempt.
Patterson with the serve, sets it over. UCI will set the 5 and gets a touch. Andrej Jokanovic able to pick that one up. The man out of France, the 6'7" freshman, will now get that kill and head right back to the line.
Swagger's back beyond the line. Going to that jump serve yet again.
Able to get that one up. Ball State is set the back row, but it'll go out of bounds. Tried to get the pipe ball there, but Rogers will send that one straight out, and Ball State will call yet another timeout. Score 15-19 here in set number 3. The UCI fans on their feet, cheering on their Anteaters, who are looking to do their Cinderella's run to the national championship game.
UCI actually unseeded in this tournament because they had to play in the first round. So you got that win against Penn State. And Ball State is the number 4 seed. So slight favorites against UCI, who has had an up and down campaign, but are really hitting their stride at just the right time. UCI 2 years ago got to the semifinal, pushed UCLA to 5 sets, but were unable to seal the deal at the Pyramid at Long Beach State. But they are back in the Final Four where they belong. David Niffen has helped lead this team to yet another appearance, and they are on the cusp of winning this 3rd set, which may pave their way to the final, which will take place at 4 p.m. Pacific time on Monday.
UCI up 15-19 here in the 3rd set. Out of the timeout, it'll be Andrej Jokanovic. Back for UCI, looking to extend their lead and close out this 3rd set. Here comes the jumper, hard straight into the net. Score now 16-19, which will send back number 15, Marty Canavan for Ball State.
And Ball State timeout may have iced Jokanovic on the service. Goes right into the net.
Ball State with the hard serve over, sets the 5, and bang! Straight back down. The block by Daniel Gunther is able to pick up that point right there for Ball State. Score 17-19 now. Just a terrific play there.
Daniel Gunther gets the job done
And Ball State will send that ball straight out of bounds. Another service error for Ball State. Score now 20-17, which will send back Clark for his signature cross-court floater. You gotta love it to see when these middles get to serve. There's his nice little floater right there, handled well. And sets the 2 and straight down, no contest. Daniel Gunther making his presence felt here in this third match. Now score 18-20. As we'll send back Will Basilio for Ball State, trying to fight back into this one. Here comes the jumper, handled well by the libero. The set to the 4, denied. Sends that one straight back to the 5 for a joust, and Ball State will win that one. Unable is UCI to win that joust. And Basilio will head back to serve yet again. Score 19-20 here in the third set. Both teams 1 of 1. Up to this point, they'll send the floater over. The set, the back row hit, and it will stay in. Andrej Jokanovic is able to pick up that one right there for UCI, as we'll get a sub here. As number 4, Aiden Kirkanu will come in to serve. He's been utilized as a serving specialist up to this point, thus far in this matchup. We'll see if he's able to help close out this matchup now. 21-19 to score, sends the floater over. Handled well, sets the back row pipe, but picked up by UCI, who will send it over on a free ball. And right back down goes Lucas Machado, the setter. The score now 20-21. Machado electing to take that one himself. And now only down by 1 here, 20-21 the score. Ball State with the ball. Here comes the jumper, nice jumper cross court. The set to the 4, and it is blocked straight back up. Right back to the setter, out of system. Who sets the 4. Sends that one back over. Ball State handles it well, a tip. And denied! Cameron Cossie tried to take it himself. Ball State not tricked, and they go up with the block. Patrick Rogers and Will Patterson able to get up and force the block. Now it's tied 21-21 here in set number 3. Ball State fighting back into this one. Here comes the jumper, handled well. The set to the 4, straight down. UCI is able to pick up that point off of number 15, Marty Caravan. UCI now up by 1, 22-21, as Andreas Brink will head back to the line for UCI up by 1. And actually, we're going to be getting a sub here. Number 27, Aiden Schuntler, who will come in and be used for his serving abilities. We also had another sub come in as well. Beck Weber, the middle blocker, now is subbed in. A nice floater across, set up well for the 5, and denied! Denied by number 9, Andrej Jognovic. Sends that one straight back down. 23-21 the score now. UCI takes the lead and holds on to it, forcing Ball State to call yet another timeout. Score now 23-21. UCI only needed 2. Ball State down by 2.
And Jokanovic, after that solo block, gestures toward the crowd, anteater crowd right next to the court on the UCI side, gestures toward them, has his arms out, and starts yelling at them. He is really a fiery individual, and we are seeing that on full display. Jokanovic really taking over in this third set. UCI was down earlier, but Jokanovic just able to bring the Anteaters back into this stanza. They tied for the team lead in kills with 12, and he's also recorded 3 blocks, doing it on all ends. Jokanovic really showcasing why David Niffen was so adamant about bringing him in from France. UCI just 2 points away from sealing the third set, which will allow them to go into the fourth with a lot of momentum and a chance to seal this game and also a national championship bid.
UCI with the ball, 23-21 the score. Looking to close it out here, only needing 2 more. Here comes the jumper, sends that one across, handled well. They'll set the 2, straight down, but handled well, but William Darcy unable to control it, will send that one into the media down there and into the fans. Ball State picks up the point, 22-23, which will send back Machado for Ball State. Now only down by 1, 22-23. Both teams have won 1 set up to this point here. The third set up for grabs. Machado, jumper, handled perfectly. Sets that one over and across and out of bounds. Goes Djukanovic. Ball State ties it up now, 23-23, as UCI will call a timeout. What a serve by Machado, though.
Machado really spearheading that run from the service line, like you said, Shane. And Ball State, with their back against the wall, able to get those 2 points to knot the game at 23. We have a treat in the third stanza between these 2 teams. And Shane, you're David Niffen. What are you saying to really calm this UCI team down? And honestly, what is a very crucial third set swing. How are you talking to this team and how are you getting them to calm their nerves a little bit to close this one out?
You know, my coach used to tell me it's about the little things. TLT, that's exactly what you need to focus on. You do the little things right, everything else will come to play. Don't overthink it. Don't rush it. You guys need to be able to control this ball, force Ball State out of system. That's what Ball State's been doing to UCI this entire game, forcing them out of system, and it's worked up to this point. All it takes is one good pass, one good set, and one good hit to take the momentum here right now on this play, as Machado will be back at the line for Ball State, trying to fall back into this one. They've been down and out this entire third set, but UCI has let them into this matchup. Machado spearheading this attack for Ball State. It's exactly what you want out of your setter. As Machado here will go with his jumper. Handled well. The set to the 4. Denied at the net. They'll reset the 4. Denied again, but it will go through. The ball will trickle across for Andrej Djukanovic. Able to fight through the block. Score now 24-23. Only needed one. And guess who's up at the line? Micah Goss, the fan favorite, with his classic 3-clap warm-up that he does every single time. UCI needing one. Here comes the jumper. We'll send it across, handled well. It's denied, but Ball State is able to get a tool off of Trevor Clark. Will Patterson with the hit. What a play by Patterson to be able to fire that one straight into Clark, who sends it out of bounds. Tied up now here at 24, and the timeout will be called by UCI. Remember, folks, it's a win by 2 scenario. Tied here at 24-24 here in set number 3, which has been a competitive one. Grant, tell me what you've seen out of these 2 teams up to this point here in this third set.
Well, Ball State, again, really going back to attacking Trevor Clark, who has had such a great first set against Ball State, but he hasn't been able to keep that performance up in the latter 2 frames. They keep going back to him, and he simply just keeps hitting it out of bounds. So that's been the recipe for success with Ball State's offense. Now for UCI, they've been really hammering home Andrej Djukanovic on the outside, and he has helped lead this UCI comeback in the third frame. We saw him record that point 2 points ago, where he was able to fight through the block and hammer it home. They're just going to need to go back to their star at the pin. Also, look for Andreas Brink to get some more opportunities with the pressure now all on Jokanovic. Could be a good strategy to get Brink going on the opposite pin. Little surprise maneuver that could keep Ball State on its toes and surprise them as well.
We've yet to see an ace in this matchup so far. Will Patrick Rogers be able to deliver this one right here? Rogers sends it across, handled well. They'll set the 4 and denied by Ball State. And there's some miscommunication in the backcourt. UCI with a grave mistake. Costi and Aitken had some miscommunication there. Costi, the setter, thought Aitken was going to grab that one as a libero. And as a libero, you need to take charge on that one. But Shane thought that Costi was already in place for it. The miscommunication leads to the point for Ball State now. Up by 1 here. 25-24 the score. Patrick Rogers looking to close it out. All the Ball State fans on their feet. Here comes the jumper. He'll send this one across and out of bounds. Almost looked like a foot fault. UCI stays alive. And now Costi will look to redeem himself right here. He's back at the line for UCI. Score 25-25. Both teams own a set in this matchup. Set number 3 up for grabs. Costi with the jumper. Sends that one across, handled well, sets the 5, denied by UCI. We'll try it again, denied. Sends that one over on a free ball. Costi able to set that one for the 4. Picked up by Ball State, who will set the 4 as well. And into the net! Into the net goes Ball State. UCI and all their fans on their feet here in this third matchup. Now up by 1, 25-26. What a play by UCI to stay alive in that one. And now Costi looking to close this one out right here. Here comes the jumper. Trickles over the net barely. Will set the back 5. Tipped at the net. Handled well by and sets the 4 and the tip. Jokanovic closes out set 3 for UCI. UCI 27, Ball State 25. UCI takes set number 3 and all the momentum going into set number 4.
Hold on a sec though. They are challenging to see, not exactly sure, maybe a net violation? Unclear exactly what they are taking a second look at. Looked good from up here. Just Jokanovic hammered that one home, but we will take a momentary review. But man, oh man, this UCI team is gritty. Fighting through this intense third set and seemingly ending up on top against Ball State.
So much heart shown out there by UCI to be able to fight back into that one. Ball State, who had been down that entire set, was able to fight back, take the lead. But UCI able to claw back into that one, and it is confirmed UCI picks up the point. Set 3 will be 27 UCI, Ball State 25. We'll head into set 4 with UCI only needed 1 more to head to the national championship this Monday here in Pauley Pavilion. Grant, tell me what you saw out of both teams there, just those last couple of points.
Last couple points, UCI, again, just simply going back to their stars, giving Jokanovic the ability to call a game on the attack attempt, and they just kept going back to him on the pin. Finally paid off. Jokanovic now with 14 kills, and honestly just saw more resiliency from UCI. Looked like they had more energy out there than Ball State and were poised for the moment. That is what these 5-set contests really train you for. Handling that adversity and being able to fight through it. Ball State not necessarily in the strongest conference for volleyball. Meanwhile, UCI, Big West, one of the top leagues in the entire nation for men's volleyball, and I think that's really paying dividends for this UCI team who's been trained to grapple with adversity and persevere through it as well. That was the difference in the last set, and I think that's going to be the difference moving forward. Unclear how Ball State will respond after losing that heartbreaking third set. Now with their backs against the wall, they're really going to need some more offensive production from players not named Patrick Rogers. Look for Will Patterson, Will Basilio, and Ryan Lewis to get some touches at the net to hopefully bring, for the Ball State faithful, the squad back into this contest. But someone else is going to need to beat UCI. That's not Patrick Rogers for them to have a fighting chance.
For sure, just like you said, it's going to take the entire team to be able to step up in this one and fight back. We saw the fight from Ball State there in the second half of that set right there to be able to claw back into that one, down by as large as 5 at one point. But Ball State able to climb back, but wasn't quite enough. We don't ever talk about how serious the amount of momentum that it really causes for both of these teams, but Uncle Mo will really get you.
But Shane, how do you expect this fourth set to go, just with the trajectory that this game has been going for both of these teams? What are really the keys for both UCI and Ball State to potentially close out this fourth set or keep the game going into the fifth?
Like I said, Ball State really just wants to force UCI out of system here, force Costi to make those decisions, whether or not he's going to be able to take that. And if he does, is Shane Aiken going to be able to step up the libero to be able to step into that situation and deliver a good ball? In a lot of these situations, Aiken hasn't been able to deliver a clean pass out to the 5 or the 4. He's either sent it on an overpass or tried to do a little too much. So Ball State try and force UCI out of system, and UCI, you have to take full control of this game here. Clean up the little errors, do the little things right, and your team will be just fine. The team that's able to do that right now and eliminate these errors is going to be just fine. And will we see our first ace of the entire game? It's been a little weird heading into the fourth set. No aces up to this point. Some great defensive passing by both teams. As now Ball State here will start with the ball. They'll send Patrick Rogers back to the line.
That's why the true difference has been the play at the net for both of these squads. You see Irvine simply just out-competing Ball State at the net, using that supreme athleticism they have to dominate at the pins and in the middle.
Well, we get our first ace. Patrick Rogers able to pick up a perfect ball right there. Nice little jump, somewhat downward floater. Able to land there around the 10-foot line. UCI unable to pick that up. Ball State grabs the early lead here, 1-0 here in set number 4.
Bit of an announcer's jinx on the last play. Talking about service errors not happening, and then we see our first of the contest. That is the perfect way to start the fourth stanza for Ball State. Couldn't have asked for a better serve from Patrick Rogers.
Patrick Rogers back at the line. Ball State really trying to stay alive, trying to make it to Monday. Rogers with the jumper. And the foot fault is called. He's been getting dangerously close to that all game. And it's finally called. UCI will pick up the point there on the foot fault. 1-1 now the score. UCI now back at the line. That'll send back Costi. Cameron Costi with the jumper. Sends that one cross court. Picked up, sets the 4. The tip. Ball State back with the ball. Will set the 5. And denied by UCI. He'll set the back 4. Stayed alive by Shane Aiken diving, who will set the perfect 5. And what a pass by Shane Aiken to get that one in perfect position for William Darcy to fire that straight into the block and straight down.
Aiken on the second touch, just able to loft that right to the net, where William Darcy could do the rest and send it home for the second point of the stanza for the Anteaters.
Costi sends that one over. Great serve, but handled well by Ball State. Sets the 5 across court. Came alive by Shane Aiken, who will get a free pass over. Ball State with the ball, controlling it now, sets the pipe and down! Patrick Rogers with the pipe straight into UCI. Score now 2-2 in the fourth set. What a play by Patrick Rogers.
Patrick Rogers continues to keep Ball State in this game. 15th kill of the day. Also saw him notch that service ace in the first point of this set. Knotted at 2 here. It's looking like it's shaping up to be a battle in the fourth set between these two teams.
Score now 2-2. We'll get the float handled by Aiken. Pass by the setter to the 5, and he'll trickle it over. What a smart play by Jokanovic. The Frenchman able to send that one straight over the block. Your ego wants you to swing on that one, but he makes the right call to be able to send that one straight over the block, and he will now head back to the line. Here comes his jumper, handled well by Ball State. They'll set the 4, handled well by UCI, who will set the 4 again. And that one will go out of bounds. Andreas Brink with the ball, trickled off the net, unable to keep that one in. Score now tied up at 3 here in the fourth set.
Brink attempted to go cross court with the attack. Couldn't tee it up and put it in the right spot. Grazed off the net and put it off trajectory.
UCI sends that one straight into the block, but is able to get it to fall on the other side. Ball State unable to get enough pressure on that ball to force it back on the other side. UCI picks up the point. 4-3 now in the fourth set. UCI up 2-1 as Clark sends across on his little floater. Handled well, sets the 5, and out of bounds. That'll be number 15, Ryan Lewis, number 16, who will send that one straight out of bounds, unable to get on top of the ball there.
Yeah, Lewis's struggles continue to persist. Just 5 kills off 28 total attacks today.
They'll set the pipe yet again, and Patrick Rogers able to pick that one up there.
Like we've said the name Patrick Rogers multiple times throughout this contest. He has 3 of the 4 points in set 4 for the Cardinals, single-handedly keeping them in this set.
They'll set it up and set the back row 5. Kept alive by the libero. We'll get a free ball over here. Nice little touch. Stacy. And out. Jokanovic able to get up that one right there. Costi out of system. Able to set that one on the first touch. Jokanovic recognizes that, takes the bick, and is able to send that one cross court. Picking up the point now, score 6-4 here, UCI over Ball State.
Jokanovic went right at Ryan Lewis on the attack. Ricocheted right off his face for the point.
Darcy back to the line. Hard jumper will go straight out of bounds. Ball State picks up the point, 5-6 now. Forcing number 10, Daniel Gunther, back to the line for Ball State. Gunther with the jumper. Able to make that one go straight in the net, makes it get a lucky little drop off there inside the 10-footer. Do that 9 times out of 10 and you won't get that result, but Gunther able to pick that one up right there. Ties it up now at 6 here in the fourth set. Ball State trying to stay alive. UCI trying to clinch a trip to Monday's national championship game.
Bit of luck on his side. The last service attempt. Head straight back.
Handled well. The pass to the 4, and bang! Andreas Brink able to slam that one down. No contestation up at the net. Now the score is 6-7, UCI up.
Brink took that one himself, making the most of the set, hammering it straight down. Ball State, impossible to get to the attack.
Brink sends a floater over. Ball State handles it well, keeps it alive. Djokovic just sends it over. Ball State in system. Gets blocked. UCI sets the 2. Able to keep it alive. Sets the 4. Off the tool. A joust up. UCI staying alive, sets the 4 again. Back down! Lucas Machado, the setter, says no. Ball State ties it up now 7-7 here in the 4th.
Teamed up with middle blocker Will Patterson. Outside hitter Will Patterson, my apologies. 3-time state champion in high school. Earned ABCA second team All-American honors before college. It's like they are gonna challenge for a net violation on the previous play. May have grazed the net just slightly. But the denial on Jokanovic, be a huge momentum sway. Ball State, it's back against the wall. Needing to close out this 4th set. We are knotted at 7 apiece. And these sets, especially the last 2, have been tightly contested. Set 3 went beyond the 25-point threshold, needing 2 points to close it out. Ball State in 27-25. Call is confirmed. So Ball State will get the point. Stays at 7-7. Machado stepping back on the service line. He will set up to receive.
Machado now with the ball. A jumper, cross court, handled well. Tight set, back down, sets the 2. And Goss is able to send that one straight down. UCI picks the point. Score 8-7 now. Goss, who just picked up that kill, will now head to the line. And we'll hear his signature 3-clap warm-up with the crowd.
Getting the crowd involved. Love to see it from these athletes.
Goss with the jumper, handled well. They'll set the 5, and it will be a tool off of the block. Ball State picks up that point. Both teams exchanging points back and forth. Score 8-8 now. And now Patrick Rogers, the kill leader in this matchup for Ball State, will head back to the line. Patrick Rogers, a senior leader on this team out of Rutherford, New Jersey.
Here the Ball State faithful cheering Rogers on.
That one squirts over the net. Handled well and back down! Trevor Clark able to slam that 2-ball straight back towards Ball State to pick up that one. Like we said, both teams just exchanging points back and forth. Score now 9-8. UCI up, trying to secure their trip to the national championship. Hard serve over, handled well. The back row 5 gets picked up by UCI. Free ball now. Ball State needs to capitalize. A little bit of an errant pass there. Forces Ball State to pick up the point right there. It looked like it was going to go out of bounds, but Ball State able to grab that one right there.
Patterson fires that one down to notch Ball State's 9th point. Set is tied yet again, 9-9.
Will Patterson back to the line. Nice little floater across the court. Handled well. Sets the 4. Picked up by Patterson. And it's going to be out of bounds. Lucas Machado diving under the net, trying to make a play there, but obviously was called out there. And that'll send back Andrej Jokanovic to the line, the freshman stud with his jumper. Nice little jumper floater there, kind of. Sets the 2 and out of bounds. Looking for a tip, and it was. They got a touch. Daniel Gunther pleaded his case, and he won. Give this man a law degree. And now Ball State tying it up here, 10-10. Back at the line, we'll send a hard floater that'll go straight out of bounds. A little bit too much mustard on that one from number 15, Marty Canavan. And now the fan favorite, Trevor Clark, with his nice little cross-court floater here. We'll send it over, handled well. Sets the 2, gets the tool, and Ball State picks up the point, 11-11. just continuing to exchange these points back and forth.
Gunther in a lot of touches, especially third touches. That's yet another point to go. 2 straight points for the Munich, Germany local.
Basillo with a hard serve over there, handled well. Sets the 4, and UCI is able to pick up the point right there. Andreas Brink able to fight off the block and get it to fall on Ball State's side.
When UCI has needed a point, the Anteaters have consistently gone to Andreas Brink. The Danish athlete on the opposite side hammers yet another point home.
Darcy with the hard serve. Overpass, joust! Won by UCI, but the ball stays alive. Ball State will send it over. They'll set the 4, and down! Andreas Brink hitting it straight into the face of the waiting Oppo.
Brink taking over from the opposite position. Darcy will now stride back to the line.
Darcy with the serve. The set to the 4. Off the block. Set up again. Sets the 4 for UCI, and bang! Andreas Brink is on fire. UCI 14, Ball State 11, as Ball State will call its first timeout of the 4th set. UCI up by 2 with 1 set only for Ball State.
And UCI, whenever one of their offensive weapons has not been clicking in a set, they have had another player step up. In this set, it has been Andreas Brink with 3 straight kills to pave the way for the Anteaters in this set. He now has 12 total on a 276 hitting clip. Last set, we saw Andres Jaganovic really take the mantle, but it has been Andreas Brink in set 4, my apologies, who has been able to take over this game and keep the pressure on Ball State, who have simply just not been able to find any sort of production outside of Patrick Rogers. They're gonna need to find someone else to stem the tide and revert the pressure back onto UCI. We have seen Ball State respond in the previous sets, forced a very tightly contested one in the 3rd frame, but Ball State is on their heels right now, down 3, 14-11 UCI.
UCI up by 3, 14-11. If they're able to close this one out, they've punched a ticket to the national championship game. William Darcy back at the line for UCI out of the timeout. Darcy here with the jumper, sends this one across, handled well, and Machado able to pick that one up himself. It was going to be an overpass from the libero, Victor Schurer, but Machado able to keep that one alive, direct that one, give it a little bit of help, giving the point to Ball State. Now score 12-14, down by 2. Ball State will send this one over. And actually they won't. They will send it straight into the net. Point UCI 15-12.
Back-breaking service error from Gunther. Squared the ball up, but flies straight into the net. UCI now with control of the ball.
Brink with the floater, handled well, sets the 2. And it'll go out of bounds. UCI with a great eye there. Andreas Brink back at the line. Up by 4, 12-16 here, UCI with the lead. As we'll get a sub here right now. We'll get Ryan Lewis back in the game for Marty Canavan.
And Lewis seemingly really needed that break on the bench after his early game struggles, but he is back in the fray of things.
Sets the 4, Ball State, and is able to get that one to drop. Andreas Brink in the middle back, unable to pick that one up. Score now 13-16. And now Lucas Machado will head back to the line for Ball State. Down by 3, looking to stay alive. They need to have this set to force a fifth. Ball State with the serve across. It's hard, but handled well. They'll set the 4. A little high, but out. Tool, great eye by Shane Aiken, who was there doing his job, waiting to try and see if he needed to pick that one up. Great eye to see that that one was going to be tooled off of the block. Now score 17-13, entering dangerous territory, and exactly why Ball State decides to call yet another timeout here, down by 4, in a must-need set. Grant, talk to me about what you've seen so far out of UCI and the momentum that they have in this set.
Well, defensively, Aitken has been phenomenal for UCI today, making all the right plays. 9 digs, ranked second on the team, along with William Darcy, who has 10 digs himself. But it's really been the IQ of Shane Aiken. We saw in that last play, letting that ball track out of bounds instead of diving for it. He has such an amazing game IQ that he boasts, and that allows the team to really rally around him. And it's also one of the main reasons why Ball State has been limited to just 2 service aces in this contest. Again, he's really leading the defensive charge for this Anteater squad. Look for him to keep that up. If he's in the game, he's really the spark plug on that defensive end. For Ball State, again, they need to find some production outside of Rogers. He's been able to lead this team, but if they can get someone else going quick, I think they have a fighting chance in this 4th set to even the game and go into the 5th with some momentum. Look out for Ryan Louie, who boasts a 0 hitting percentage in this contest, but could get active at any point.
Micah Goss back at the line. UCI up by 4, 17-13. UCI looking to close it out. Send the hard jumper. Tight, contested, and UCI able to pick up the point there because Lucas Machado, the setter, caught the ball thinking that UCI had come over. Just a lapse of judgment there by the setter. Now making the score 18-13.
And late call. The official game seemed to continue, but ended up with the ball, or the UCI point.
A tight set to the 5, and Ball State able to pick that one up. Patrick Rogers able to pick up that one there, and now he'll head back to the line to try and fight back into this one, down by 4 in a must-need win. Patrick Rogers with the jumper. Handled well by the libero. Sets the 2 off of somebody's head. Great tight set. Sets the 5. UCI just gets a free ball over. Out of system though. And UCI unable to get it off. Shane Aiken pleading his case with the ref, but unable to get so.
Rogers vaulting straight through the middle of the court to hammer the kill home. Aiken got a touch on it, but strays outside of the field of play. Looked as if Cameron Costi attempted to keep that ball alive, but he was just too far to get an initial good read on it. So Rogers, 2 straight kills to bring this contest within 3.
Rogers here now with the jumper. Sends it straight into the net with a service error. UCI pulls away by 4, 19-15 now. UCI only 6 points away from punching a ticket to the national championship game on Monday.
Service errors just continue to plague this Cardinal team.
What a serve by number 15, Cameron Costi, who picks up UCI's first ace of the game, and what a serve it was. Getting Schurer to dive for that one, unable to pick it up, and Costi will head back again now, 15-20. Ball State handles that one, sets the 5. Picked up by the setter, out of system. Clark Gets it to fall. It was tight.
Looks as if they're going to challenge it. Coach immediately gestures toward the official. Looked like that may have been out past the backcourt line.
It was definitely close. Whether or not they had an angle to be able to see that, if the ball was out or not, we'll see. We do not have that technology yet. We're still on a low budget. But as of right now, the score is 15-21. UCI up on Ball State. Ball State fighting back with Patrick Rogers, who was serving for them, but that all came to a close when his serve went straight into the net, and UCI has not looked back. Costi with that great play with the serve, and then another great play here by Trevor Clark, which will stand, and the score will stand 15-21 UCI, with Costi still serving for the Anteaters, looking to close this one out 4 points away from a national championship ticket punched. Costi with the jumper, sends it across the court. They'll set the quick 2, and Shane Aiken unable to grab that one. Will Patterson with the kill. 16-21 the score now. Down by 5. Need to have it if you're Ball State.
Patterson, the Loveland, Ohio local. He's finding his stride late in this contest. Now 9 kills.
Ball State sends it over. UCI sends it right back, and Ball State gets the kill. Daniel Gunther is able to set that free ball right back to UCI. 17-21 the score now. Ball State clawing back into this one. Sends the floater over. Handled well. Sets the 4. Straight down! William Darcy. And they'll do a little dancey dance. As now, Andrej Djukanovic, the newcomer of the year award winner, the freshman from France, will look to close it out, needing only 3 points to head to the national championship. He'll send it, get a lucky hit off of the net, slow things down, and the ball will go in. What a hit by Ryan Luis, who's able to pick that one up, and now he'll get back to the line. Down by 4, score 22-18. Ball State needs to have it. Ball State fans on their feet. Here comes the jumper. Sends straight back over. Ball State with the ball. Machado looks to take it himself. Aiken sends it up, sets the 4, and out!
Beautiful set.
Andreas Brink with the kill to put UCI 2 points away from the national championship game. And here comes Trevor Clark.
Costi had to initiate a lengthy set to get the ball across the court, and Brink does the rest.
Ball State able to send that one right back over, and it's able to trickle back down to stay alive here. 19-23 the score. UCI only needing 2. Number 3, Will Basilo will head back for Ball State, trying to keep them alive. All the Ball State fans on their feet.
Ball State needs a good serve out of Basilio here.
The serve picked up well, sets the 5, gets the tool, diving, unable to do so. UCI picks up the point. 1 point away from a national championship ticket punched. And here comes Aiden Kyriakou, the serving specialist in this matchup up to this point, to try and send UCI to the national championship game. Everybody's on their feet. Kyriakou staring down Ball State. The serve, sends it over, picked up, Ball State, rejected! Andreas Brink with the block to send UCI to the national championship game. UCI 25, Ball State 19. The UCI Anteaters will face either Long Beach or Hawaii on Monday at 4 o'clock. What a matchup between both of these teams, and UCI takes the victory.
UCI gutting out a very gutsy victory. Shout out Andreas Brink, who really came alive in that third set to lead the way to the UCI victory. Miracle season for Ball State ends at Poly Pavilion today, but UCI, their own miracle Cinderella run, keeps the train rolling. And as you said, Shane, they will either face Hawaii or Long Beach State, which we will be covering in an hour, about 5:40 right now. That game will start at 6:30, but the main difference in this contest was simply UCI just had too many capable weapons for Ball State to handle. Herculean performance from Patrick Rogers, who's really the only effective offensive player in this game for Ball State. Meanwhile, UC Irvine had substantial contributions from Andrej Joganovic, Trevor Clark, Andreas Brink, and William Darcy, who all found their stride in different sets that eased the pressure off of each of them when they were struggling in a particular set, allowing one of the other parts of that quartet to take over and lead the offense for the Anteaters.
And now UCI with their ticket punch, celebrating with their fans. A true show of grit out of both of these teams, but UCI will come away victorious. In a score of 3-1 set, UCI heading to the national championship. Like Grant said, we will be back here at around 6:30 for the matchup, Hawaii versus Long Beach, two of the top programs in the nation for volleyball. We'll be back here live, so make sure to keep YouTube open and be ready for us. We'll be back in a few. For Shane Donovan and Grant Walters.
Oh yeah, just click end stream.
Oops.